We are at the Capitol because ultimately it will be up to state lawmakers in this building behind me to decide whether or not cell phones will be banned in high school classrooms across New York State. If that were to happen, and it seems extremely likely, we know that it is an absolute certainty that Governor Hochul will then sign it into law, because she has been on a crusade for several months trying to get this across the finish line here during the budget season. We know that at least 8 states across the country have already enacted such bans in the last couple of years. Many other states are currently mulling over whether to follow course. Now, nationally, 77% of U.S. schools say they prohibit cell phones at school for non-academic use. That's according to the National Center for Education Statistics, but that figure can actually be somewhat misleading, since it does not measure the students who are abiding by the ban, and it doesn't measure the school districts that might look the other way and might not be enforcing it. So we spoke with several dozen people today at the crossings in Colony, and here's a sample of what some of them had to say.
I think there's pros and cons to both. I would say that the pros are children nowadays are really focused on the cell phone use and social media. I think it's gotten a little out of control. But cons to that is if there is a school shooting or something is happening within the school district, I want to be able to get a hold of my child.
I can understand that you need to put boundaries on cell phones throughout the day for learning purposes and not to be disruptive, but I would feel uncomfortable as a parent to not have communication with my kid during the day. God forbid something were to happen.
Do cell phones belong in a high school classroom?
I don't think they do, because I think it's a big distraction for kids and the teachers, because the teachers can't teach if the kids are playing on their phone all day.
Clearly, there are pros and cons, and we want to reiterate that what Governor Hochul did today, what she said, was nothing new. Back in January, she held a news conference at Farnsworth Middle School in Guilderland with students and faculty and parent groups. All of them were kind of launching this crusade at that point, and this was just an effort to light a fire under the legislature to get this across the finish line. We're live at the Capitol with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13. Steve, Mark, back to you.
Now we see if the legislature is going to answer the governor's call on that. Thank you, Dan.